So I definitely feel like I've been like semi-MIA. I have like a red spot up here. I'm gonna try to fix it. Definitely feel like I've been a little bit MIA. Well, no, I posted like a few weeks ago, but I haven't. Okay, not MIA. I haven't been recording as much, and I'm actually behind on like things that I have recorded. So there's things that I recorded, let's say like 2-3 weeks ago, that I have not posted, y'all. Okay. I have not posted. And I will say, okay, still don't trust these motherfuckers in Atlanta. But I will say that because I have gained a perspective of what people want from me, what people like about me, what are my assets, etc. And I do understand logically that being social and engaging with people can be highly beneficial in business, can be highly beneficial when it comes to making money, just whatever you're doing. And so, as much of an introvert as I am, I have been pushing my boundaries and reaching out to people more and connecting with people more. And I think the good thing about it is that, one, I don't really have a lot of things that people can hurt me with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell a lot of my life here on YouTube, so obviously I really don't care. Knowing that, I understand how to think from other people's perspective somewhat and understand how to make and present what I'm saying in a palatable way, or how to present myself in a palatable way. One of my friends is like, well, that's not authentic. Like, you should be your authentic self all the time. And it's like, I'm a lot to handle. And my perspective, coming from a young female, is a lot for people to swallow. Like, men say crazy shit all the time, but like, when a young woman has something to say, anyway, so because I know how people are, I have learned how to present myself in different facets, in different ways, etc. So what I'm saying is, I'm always talking about how I take a check and balance, and how I'm always thinking, you know, what are my assets, what am I really benefiting from, what are my deficits, what am I struggling in, and what do I need to balance out. And so one of the things for me was, you know, being such an introvert and being that person who, especially because I felt so let down by society and let down by what I was told and promised for being a good girl, and what I was told and promised for being an intelligent person and going to college and getting good grades and doing internships, you know. And so I was really disappointed with the way it all panned out. And so part of me was like, you know, fuck y'all, I'm gonna do it myself. And I'm still like that, but I also understand that, you know, my mom would always say, no man's an island. And I mean, no man's an island, but if there was I could be my own island. But I am learning how to be more social, how to reach out more, how to engage more, how to keep my commitments, and how to do it in a way that I'm pretty fearless, and in a way that, you know, even though I don't trust anyone really in the city, and my trust for people in society is, I'm not ashamed to admit, is a little bit broken, you know, as it should be. As someone in this body, living in this era, my trust in certain things should be skeptical, and it should be, you know, hesitant, because people have so many agendas, you know, being a woman and being quote unquote attractive and being small. Like, I'm small as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So like, people really, they have these agendas, and they really think that they are going to outsmart me, that they're going to outwit me, that they're going to, you know, swindle me. And now that I'm coming to the table with this awareness and this skepticism, but also still being, you know, my authentic self, I'm finding that there are people that, you know, maybe you're not going to be my bestie, and maybe you're not going to get, you know, all the details on my personal life, etc., but I'm going to be my authentic self with you. And there's no real way for, you know, I'm not going to over trust you, you know what I'm saying, but I'm going to be my authentic self with you. And if you attempt to hurt me, because it's not like how, you know, now it's like, what are people going to hurt me with? Like, you're going to throw up in my face that I was a sugar baby? I talk about that. You're going to throw up in my face my sexuality and the way I express it? I don't give a fuck. You're going to throw up in my face. Like, what are you going to throw up in my face that I haven't willingly, openly, and happily shared publicly with the world? So now that I kind of have that perspective, but also not trusting people with valuables, you know, I shared, there's a video on here of me talking about, you know, just being young and dumb and letting this girl, you know, drive my car, and she ended up like doing a hit and run and just crashing it, and it was already paid off, and it was just a mess. And then I ended up getting the car that I have now, which is like this really nice, decent BMW, but people think that I got it because of the brand, which is not the case. I happen to, it's a long story about it, but it happened to just be the car on the lot where I was working, and I would see it all the time, and I was just like, I kind of like that car, and I got approved, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like I picked it because of that brand. But I think in Atlanta, people think that I did, and now that I have had a BMW, I'm like, oh, I do love a good BMW. Like, I grew up in BMWs, you know, my mom had a BMW for a long time, and it was really reliable. And even when she traded it in and got another car, it was still running. Like, we gave it to someone else. Like, anyway, we privately sold it. But more of the story is, okay, let me circle it back. I'm not going to trust people more than they should be trusted, but I'm going to show up as my authentic self, because, or an expression of myself, because I'm not always like, you know, because I can go crazy, you know, so I don't be, you know, 100%, you know, but I'm still going to be, I'm not going to be fake. I'm going to be a percentage of who I really am. And if you can handle that, then maybe I'll let out some more, you know what I'm saying? But I've learned that, you know, if people are going to fuck with you, they're going to fuck with you. If they're not, they're not. But no one can really hurt me with my truth, because, again, I've willingly, openly, happily shared it. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I'm not afraid of. I'm not afraid of people swindling me out of my pussy, because my self-esteem is together. I know my worth. I know what I want. And I know all the strategies. I mean, sure, I'm sure there's a few that miss me, but I can, because I know all the other strategies, they're all, I can figure it out. So, you know, I'm not afraid of men swindling out my pussy no more, because my self-esteem is together, which is why I said don't date if you have low self-esteem. And I stand by it. And I stand by it. So I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of someone crashing my car, because I'm not going to let anyone drive my car. You know, like, I'm not afraid of anyone spreading, like, lies about me, because people are going to do that anyway. And they can come on to YouTube and get the truth and help these views, okay? So I don't give a fuck, you know, like, now I'm coming out into Atlanta with an understanding of how people are, and it's an understanding that people have agendas, and I'm always vigilant of that. But I'm also coming to the table not really having too many openings for someone to hurt me, because I expect you to try to swindle me. I expect you to try, you know, like, I'm waiting for the bullshit. But if you're gonna come, and you're gonna come correct, then, you know, we can be associates, and we can cultivate a relationship. That's a lot of growth for me, because I have a very fuck you, I'm gonna do it on my own. Fuck you, I'm gonna do it on my motherfucking own. I have that kind of personality. And you can get a lot done with that personality, because I think that the anger and the frustration of, like, why the fuck couldn't I find a good job in Atlanta? Like, I'm like the anger and frustration of what they sell. Like, so hold on, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna get in debt to graduate, maybe get a job, maybe not, and then maybe not make enough money to pay back the debt. And I didn't see it like that. I really did see school and education as this like end all be all, this way to level the playing field, blah blah blah, okay. But now, because of my experience, and I'm sure other people have been really blessed. I mean, I know some people who graduated because of their majors, they got great jobs because of being social, which is why I'm talking about this in this video, because of being social and being extroverted and having relationships and cultivating those relationships, they got good jobs. So I'm not saying that it fails for everyone, but I'm saying for me, as an intelligent, smart, beautiful young girl and an introvert, it was really challenging. And I had to learn how to use another asset, which was my looks, my beauty, my pussy, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't care, because where were you? Like people want to judge me, and it's like, but where were you though? Woo! You want to judge me, but could you give me a job? Like, could you pay these bills? Like, and it's not my fault that the system failed me, because I really did do everything y'all said to do. So since that happened, I absolutely do have a nasty taste in my mouth, and I can be very much of like, fuck you, fuck society, fuck what the fuck they think, because half of y'all are brainwashed. And I really try not to be shady, but whatever. You know, I think I'm pretty intelligent, and I'm not really sure what percentage of people I think are intelligent, but based on my experiences, it's not that high of a percentage. So it's like, how can I really care about what most people think of me when most people aren't thinking logically? Some people are delusional, and a lot of people are not intelligent. So if it's like, if I think I'm intelligent and I'm going out into the world looking for other intelligent people who are, and I'm not talking intelligent in the sense of you have good memorization skills, because let's break this down. I feel like the academic system, we really rewarded memorization, not critical thinking. Critical thinking and memorization are two different things. And I think a lot of people base their intelligence off of their ability to memorize and regurgitate information. I consider you intelligent if you can critically think, if you can engage with something, not memorize it and regurgitate it, but engage, pick it apart, look at it from different perspectives, argue it different ways, see it different ways. So, my definition of intelligence is different. And because I don't see a whole lot of people who are critical thinkers. Because I don't see that, then I can kind of gauge that, like, why, like, there's this line by Post Malone, and he's like, how can I make sense when I got millions on my mind? And it's like, if I know that I'm potentially more intelligent than a certain population, I can't care what the people in that population think about the way I navigate my life, because they think I'm dumb and I think they're dumb. Do you get what I'm saying? And we'll see who's right in the end. In the end. In the long term. We will see who's right long term. And, right is subjective, but I feel like, I will base who was right off of my happiness, off of my legacy, off of the women and lives that will be changed by my honesty and by my transparency and by my willingness to perhaps be ahead of my time, perhaps be an outlier, perhaps be unique and different. I would judge who was right in the long term by that, by my happiness, by the legacy that I leave, by the lives that I would change and touch. And I think that that's what really matters to me. But I think there's a lot of people who are living these lives and they think they're better than me for whatever reason. And my question would be, are you happy with your life? Because I think some people are doing things because they're the norm, because mom and dad, because society, because church, because school, because, the office. I really, after being shitted on by this system, not getting what I thought I would get, and seeing the hypocrisy in society, the hypocrisy in religion and government and people's so-called belief system, because of that understanding, all of the decisions that I make in my life are, what does Jazz want? What will future Jazz want? What does Jasmine want her legacy to be? What does she want people to see? What does she want to spark conversation about? What does she want to call out? What does she want to address? I don't base my life decisions on what these people, or mom and dad, or, church, family, friends, people I went to school with. I'm not basing my life decisions off of what they're going to think or how they're going to perceive me or whether they like me. My decisions are directly correlated to what I want and what I want to share, what I want other young girls to know, what I wanted my younger self to know, what I wish people would have told me, what I needed to hear. What I needed to see. My decision making is based on that. And so, truly, when you're making decisions for yourself, by yourself, and not listening to, everybody else, then, you can lead a pretty happy life. You know what I'm saying? And so, there are people who, are living the way society says they should, and if they are happy, that is great. If they're happy, that's great. But one thing that I feel like I've always known is that I'm not normal. That I'm not average, that I'm not typical, that I'm very unique and very creative and just different. And so when things didn't go the way they went, I wanted them to go in regards to job and, life and this path that I was on. It was an invitation to not settle for the status quo, not settle for these lives that, go get this, get this great office job, be an attorney, or, be an aide to a senator, it was an invitation to go beyond those paths, and they're brilliant, and they're great, but like, this being is capable and worthy of being way more than an office worker, or and this is no shade, it's just like, when I wanted that, like, I wanted that, but when that didn't work for me, it was an invitation to really be myself, to not try to fit this cookie cutter life, and to really push the limits on who I was, what my legacy would be, what I would say, you know, and what I would be known for. And so I'm grateful for that invitation, you know, and I would have been just as happy for things to work out and for me to, you know, get a good job, you know, or, you know, I would have been, but now I get to really be creative. I get to really own myself, you know, without thinking about, oh, what are they going to think about me saying this? Or, you know, it's like, when you're an entrepreneur and you're freelance, it's like, I'm independent. I don't answer to a motherfucker. I answer to the money. And so I can say what I want. I can post what I want. I can do what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, that freedom for my character and for my creativity is absolutely wonderful and absolutely necessary for me to really be all that I'm going to be. And if I would have gotten those roles, I would have had to limit. Even if I had the same thoughts that I have now, and I had this job or this, you know, entity over me, then I would be concerned about them finding this or them seeing it, you know what I'm saying? But because the system kind of failed me in the sense of not giving me, you know, nice formal employment, or, you know, people going to interviews and people just wanting to fuck me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it failed me, now I can be free. You know what I'm saying? Now I can, like, I don't have to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because y'all didn't give me anything, I can just be like, fuck y'all. I'm gonna talk my shit. I don't have a boss that's gonna find my Instagram. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I can really be myself. That's what, I think that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, because I didn't get what I wanted, and I didn't get the kind of job and the opportunities that I wanted, that was an invitation to really be myself. And being myself is the best thing I've ever done.